So it seemed I was stuck, but I actually found a solution to my problem, and I think it was actually a little unusual. Hey, what's going on everybody? Dustin here, welcome back to the channel. And in this video, I'm gonna tell you my biggest money mistake, how I fixed my mistake, and how that really changed how I manage my money. Now, fortunately enough for me, I feel like I've made very few mistakes with my money, and for the most part, I do feel like I've made good financial decisions with the money that I've made. I mean, I've shown you my entire portfolio, and within the next 8 years, I do believe my wife and I will be part of that double comma club. But you know what? Let me take you back to when I was a teenager. Now, I started working when I was 12 years old, mowing yards for money. I would take the lawnmower and I would go door to door asking people if they wanted me to mow their yards, and I would charge people $10 a yard. And in one summer, I saved right around $2,000 at the age of 12, which I didn't think was too bad. Then when I was 13, I became a bagger at the grocery store on the military base working for tips only, which is funny because I do remember complaining when I would make like $25 or $30 an hour in cash, which actually is not that bad at all, and it's definitely not bad as a 13-year-old. Then as I got older, I had other jobs as well. But when I turned 16, my parents said I should get a credit card to start building out my credit, which was actually a great move. But I was told to keep a small balance on my card every month to keep the banks happy and that this would improve my credit score, which I now know is complete garbage because you never want to hold a balance on your credit cards because paying interest is never a good thing. And this card, it wasn't even a rewards earning credit card. It was just a local credit union credit card, which it did help me build up my credit, so it did the job it was meant to do. Now, if you're enjoying this video, then give this video a like. It helps others find the channel, and it's a free way to support the channel as well. Then when I was a junior or senior in high school, I was working at a grocery store making like $9.25 an hour, and I decided to buy myself a brand new 2006 Honda Civic EX standard transmission with a sunroof because that was cool, which I think the monthly payment on that car was right around $200 and $250 a month. And around that time, I started using my credit card for gas, going out shopping, dining out with my friends. Pretty much most of my expenses went on my credit card because I could just buy all this stuff and only pay a small part back each and every month, making it seem like I had more money than I actually did. And I was only making the minimum payment on my credit card, so I had more money in my bank account. But really, I wasn't putting any more money into my bank account. I was spending more money because I could go out and swipe my non-metal credit card for anything I wanted. And each month, I would make the minimum payment of around $200 per month on that credit card. And this really didn't knock down my balance at all. And each month, the balance would grow from interest and making more purchases. And before I knew it, I was 18 or 19 years old with about $4,000 of credit card debt, which may not seem like a lot compared to other people, but being that young with that much credit card debt for just buying stupid crap was really a problem. And it was at this point in my life that I really felt like I was at a crossroads. I could continue down this finance lifestyle and living beyond what I could afford while staying on the hamster wheel of making minimum credit card payments and really not improving my financial situation. Or I could choose to get rid of my credit card debt and make better decisions with my finances and also stop caring about what other people thought of me when it came to money. And the reality was, I wanted to get rid of my credit card debt because I just didn't want to feel trapped anymore. But the problem was, I was only making like $9.50 or $10 an hour, and at the time, I was in college trying to figure out what I was going to do with my life. And after making my car payment and my normal bills, I had very little extra money that I could put towards that growing credit card balance. So it seemed I was stuck, but I actually found a solution to my problem, and I think it was actually a little unusual. And it might not be something people typically think of or you would even consider doing. Now, remember my fancy 2006 Honda Civic I mentioned earlier? I still had it at this time, and I'd been making payments on this car for a few years at this point. And when I started looking at my car, I noticed the value of my car was worth more than what I owed on it. So while a car is a depreciating asset, I had actually built up equity in my car. So I contacted the bank who I had my auto loan through and asked if somehow I could refinance my car, But when I refinanced it, I wanted to take out some of the equity on the car as well. Honestly, I had no idea what I was doing at this time. And I was told that I could refinance my car for the car's full value if I wanted to. And we went over how this would affect my payment based on the number of years I would choose to extend my auto loan. So after going through everything, I ultimately decided to refinance my car and pull out some of the equity I had on my Civic to pay off my credit card debt. Now, while that may not have seemed smart, I thought it was the best decision for me at that time, and I think I definitely would do that again. Because by doing this, it actually served a couple of purposes. First, the interest rate on my car loan was much lower than the interest rate on my credit card. So I essentially balance transferred or rolled my credit card debt into my auto loan with a much lower interest rate. So overall, I would be paying less interest. Secondly, there was an end date to when I would have that loan paid off. And that payoff date was a much shorter time period than had I only made the minimum payment to the credit card company itself. So this process saved me time and it saved me money. Now this was only a good strategy if I didn't get myself into credit card trouble in the future, because if I went back to my old ways of overspending, then this really wouldn't help me at all, because I would have an auto loan for a larger payment for a longer period of time, and I would also have credit card debt once again. But once I made the decision to do this, I changed my habits completely when it came to dealing with my credit card, and I haven't held a balance on my credit card since that time. Even when I was in grad school and was living on a ramen noodle budget, I absolutely refused to hold any sort of balance on any of my credit cards. I would work and I would even sell things around my apartment so I would not go into credit card debt, which was very stressful at times, but I am very thankful that I did that. Now, I do feel my decision to get out of credit card debt when I was 18 was a huge turning point in my life when it came to my finances. And if I didn't decide to get rid of that credit card debt and change my habits, who knows if I would be the way I am with money today, or would I still be living beyond my means? And by taking the equity out on my car to pay off the debt, it worked for me. And I really haven't heard of others doing this. And maybe it's not a smart move because a car is a depreciating asset. But that's what worked for me. But I know that I just didn't like that feeling of paying that credit card payment each and every month and seeing the balance grow all the time. It just made me feel trapped, and I didn't want to feel that way anymore. Which may be a big reason why I want to eliminate any and all of the debt in my life, because that way I'm free and nobody owns me. And while my financial situation is different today, I still treat my credit cards as cash and I don't hold a balance. And I still have that mindset of that broke kid who was in grad school. So let me know, what are some of the mistakes you have made with your money? Now, if you're someone looking for 4 simple steps to reach financial freedom, then be sure to check out this video right here. And if you know someone that would find this video useful and helpful, consider sharing it with them, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.